And we need to acknowledge the fact that the Department of Justice, over the weekend, Pam Bondi said, you know what? I am tired of all this thing. I am tired of the whole Epstein thing. I'm going to release it all. And Pam Bondi decided to unleash the Kraken this past weekend, and she just released everything. Everything besides, of course, the redacted names of the victims and anything that still is being processed by any grand juries. That is. So it's important to understand. Big shout out to Eddie Doherty, who was always is on point. Attorney General Pam Bondi just announced that the DOJ has released all Epstein files under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, has justified redactions and listed high-profile names that appear in the files. No records were withheld or redacted on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity, including to any government official, public figure, or foreign dignitary. Epstein has backfired on the left. Multiple powerful Democrats have been exposed, and Trump has been vindicated. Again, we need to remember that the people working at the Department of Justice are still human, and, well, we're talking about millions of files, and when they have received reports that some people that shouldn't have been redacted were redacted, or vice versa, they have fixed whatever was in that dump, and in the dump of these files. So that's one thing. The other thing that we need to address is the fact that people are up in arms saying that now Pam Bondi is lying, that these are some accounts out there are claiming without absolutely no base or proof or anything that this is not even 2% of the Epstein files. And okay, I guess they have some kind of proof to back that up, because I don't know, otherwise I don't know what to tell you. So you can have it both ways. I think that I trust what the Trump administration is doing about the Epstein files, because you know that Trump was the whistleblower of Epstein in the first place, and he helped get Epstein behind bars back then in 2009, and he over all these administrations, he was the one who is blowing the lead of all this. And there's still all this claim that he was protecting his friends or something like that. I think that many people are still trying to frame Trump in some way over this, and saying that he is some sort of PDF file or something, even if you see all the evidence both inside the Epstein files and in the process around Epstein prove otherwise. But the misinformation and the disinformation and the flat-out lies are out there, and I would say we can't do anything about that. The most that I myself can do is try to highlight that, releasing the Epstein files, normies were not ready for this. And I say normies maybe in a despective way. That's like most people, the general public. And I know that the general public doesn't watch my show because, I am not a tabloid or sensationalist or something like that. But it's like this, is that they release a list of names that appear in the Epstein files that, of course, let's say that, how to say this? There's some names here that are a bit strange, such as, all right, not De Niro, I mean Diana, Princess of Wales. The question is, under which context Diana, Princess of Wales was mentioned in the Epstein files? We have no context whatsoever here. And I guess that even if we had access to the email, we would need more context. But you know how it works nowadays. You just need a headline, a title that says, Lady Di was mentioned in the Epstein files. She was found in the Epstein files, and everybody's going to jump to the conclusions that she was too eating babies, of course, and drinking the blood of, I don't know, children, something like that. And that's what they're going to come up with. They're going to insert and I don't know, an image of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II with half reptilian, and said that maybe Diana tried to get out of the club, and that's why, the monarchy got herself killed. You know that they're going to do that. That is the easiest way to get 1,000 clicks, 10,000 clicks, 1 million views nowadays. Who else is in this list? Who else is in this list? Let's say, oh my God. Oh my God. That was a good run. Not for Jill Biden, but for Jeff Bezos. Up to this point, we thought that Jeff Bezos was not in the Epstein Files. And again, we have no idea unless we check the Epstein Files under which circumstances was Bezos mentioned here. Is he half reptilian, eating babies as well? I don't know. What? Pam Bondi herself. Pam Bondi herself is mentioned in the Epstein Files. Some are saying, I don't know. I don't see him here, but it's like, oh my, this is actually shocking. This is actually shocking. Jeffrey Epstein was mentioned in the Epstein Files. This is breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein found in the Epstein Files. Is this some kind of Inception conspiracy? Yeah, you can. I could make a channel like that. I have but I don't. I don't know. I don't know the Fidel Castro, Noam Chomsky. Okay, we already knew about Noam Chomsky. Dan Bongino's in the Epstein Files. We knew it. That's why he quit the FBI. Who else? Well, Tony Blair. Yeah, I was about to say something that was going to get me in trouble. That's the problem to have in these live shows. I was about to say something about Tony Blair. I better shut my mouth right now. Let's say here, somebody noticed that Elvis Presley was in this list as well. I think this only goes up to the J. I think this is like missing some names besides the J. Michael Jackson is in there. So many people have asked me, by the way, when am I going to do a video about Leaving Neverland, all that. I always thought that Michael Jackson was, in fact, innocent of those accusations. I mean, I did the complete, absolute, in-depth investigation of the whole thing. There was so much information that I could never organize the whole thing. But it was my conclusion. I've told you a couple times over the years that I believe that Michael Jackson was innocent of all those claims. Who else is in here? I don't know. Oh, Bill Gates is a classic. We know. Bill Cosby, or Bill Clinton. Who else? Cher. All right. Just one. Let's see. Just okay. This one. Crimes against humanity, and I'm not talking about the Epstein Files. I'm talking about some songs. Although mysterious ways, I still love that song. I still and Discotheque is the song of them. You too, right? As well. No, I am not in the Epstein Files. I'm absolutely free from the Epstein Files. I should have some kind of certification. Maybe at some point, somebody, that I watch a video of the body language guy and poof, the body language guy is on the Epstein File. Jesus Enrique Rosas also eats babies and drinks the blood of, of children under full moon and etc. He once hanging out with, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne said that Jesus was odd, was strange. Yeah, that's the problem about this. That is the problem about this. The people were not ready, and that's the issue behind things like what Ro Khanna did last week, in which he named this 6 man redacted in the Epstein Files. And everybody thought that, okay, maybe the DOJ is protecting some PDF files. But no, he came forward to say, I appreciate J. Sweet Eli's reporting confirming today that Salvatore Nuara, were just part of a photo lineup and are not connected to Epstein's crimes. 4 of those 6 men had nothing to do with any sort of crimes of Epstein. But Ro Khanna and Thomas Macy made sure to portray them as if they were, I don't know, they were eating babies. And that's what is implied. Okay, the DOJ, Trump was protecting them for some reason. What is that reason? That's the problem. The general public was not ready for this release. The general public was not ready for this release. And the amount, I cannot simply count the amount of disinformation out there. There's an account based in Africa. You can see the location on X that claims that Ellen DeGeneres literally ate children. And it has like 100 million views. And again, I used to be a fan of Ellen, like, I don't know, like 40 years ago, something like that, or 30 years ago. Right now, I'm not going to defend Ellen for anything, but at the same time, I would like to see in which part of the Epstein Files was the proof that she was doing this. And the thing is that people don't like the proof. They just want to read the horrific headlines and just dismiss any sort of proof of anything. Again, I am not defending anyone in here, absolutely anyone. By the way, Harry and Meghan are in the Epstein Files. I mentioned that, and I'm going to mention that late. And then I said, what kind of sick joke is this? You go on the House floor and expose these guys as pedos without doing your due diligence first? And Ivy Marie, what the hell did they think would happen when you rush something like this? This is what everybody warned would happen. Most people in those files are innocent. Jeffrey Epstein had 2 sides. One his perverted side, one was his business persona. Those 2 are butt buddies, and let's say it is retarded. That is the problem. That was the problem. So, oh my God, this is what you get when people simply cannot bother to process what is out there. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bad Language Guy. Much love.